I'll do this.
Thanks everyone for stopping by and welcome to today's webinar, Senior Relocation Specialist with MAPS coach Dan Ihara. I'll make this short and sweet. Please note this meeting is being recorded. I will share the link in the chat momentarily to the MAPS YouTube channel where the recording will be available within 24 hours. Currently, everyone's on mute. However, we do value group participation, so we ask that if you have any questions for Dan, please type them into the chat box below. Following the meeting, if you have any questions about today's call or our other coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. And that's all for me, Dan. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Rodrigo. Aloha, good morning, actually afternoon to many of you. It's morning in Hawaii, but I just wanted to welcome you all. Today's going to be really exciting. We're going to talk about Senior Relocation Specialist. How do you become that? What does it look like? And why would I want to do that, right? Let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot to cover today, and we should be done by 6 o'clock your time. No, just joking. This is an hour class, okay? We're going to get done on time. All right, so here's the main opportunity, guys. Take a look at this data. This is from the CDC. 65 years and older, there's going to be, unfortunately, 2.1 million folks over the age of 65 that will pass away this year. And 80% of them own real estate. Some of those are going to be our family and friends. Some of those are going to be a lot of our neighbors. The bottom line, though, is what happens when people pass away? Well, something has to be done with the property. Oftentimes, if it's a husband and wife, if one passes away, the surviving spouse typically won't be in their home that long. Sometimes they do, with some challenges. But once the surviving widow passes away, then the heirs will have the property to decide what to do with. And we're going to show you how we can attract those people and really serve them at a high level. So imagine this, 1.68 million potential listings just from the folks that unfortunately will leave us this year. In addition, after those who retire, there's 2.2 million outside of that pass away that actually move every year. This is a huge demographic. And we're talking about 3.9 million potential listings that are going to come up in this one demographic. Interestingly enough, though, that this demographic will have all the similar challenges, right? They're going to have the same problems. And when you become the solution to those problems, you're going to attract listings. So why is it important to know senior relocation services? Because at some point in their life, an older adult, their home's not going to work for them, right? It's either going to be they can't do the stairs, the house is too big, the kids have moved communities. There will be a point where they're going to say, you know what, now it's time to go. Keep in mind, this market is recession proof, right? They're making these decisions not because the interest rates are good or bad, not because the stock market's good or bad, it's because of a life change. See, this market, ladies and gentlemen, is a recession proof market, right? It's a market such that doesn't matter how good or bad the economy is, this market will still have a need to sell. You know, we're going to find them a new home. And then once you do that, then you can get a listing. Until they know where they're going to go, then they're not so interested on selling anything, right? Because they're uncomfortable with the change. Change at that age, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, gets challenging the older you get, right? And the first thing they're going to have to understand is, where's my next home going to be? They're not going to consider even selling until they have a clarity around where that's going to be and the comfort level around it. It has to be their goal, right? And we're going to coach you on how we can help them with that. What's going to happen is once you understand how to provide this solution to senior relocation, other folks are going to call you, right? What I mean by that is you're going to have the trusted advisors of the wealthy will call you, wills and trust attorneys, CPAs, financial planners. All of these folks are in touch with the older adult that has wealth, and now they're having conversations with those folks about what to do. And guess what? Their answer is they don't have one. They have no idea what to do because that's not their sandbox, right? The financial planner, they plan out this liquid wealth, but that's kind of it. The CPA, they protect them from the IRS, and the attorney protects them legally. Who helps them plan their real estate? That can be you, right? We can help them through this process, and we can really pour into their life and change their life in a major way. Sellers are going to know that you care. And when you approach it as, with the model that we have regarding how we're going to get them there, where they're going to go, versus tell me when you're ready, I'll stick a sign in the ground, right? You're going to make a big difference to your community. People will know that you care. Right? You're going to, bottom line, you're going to get more listings, right? And you're going to build a shift-proof model, right? We started in 2005. I started myself as a single agent. 7 months later, I got 7 listings and I didn't know what to do. I didn't like this job because it was just too much work. I begged my wife to join me. She's still my wife and she still works with me. How about that? That's a double whammy for me, right? And in all these years, we started growing. Well, in 05 and 06 and 07, we all know what happened, right? The downturn came. Our business grew during this time, ladies and gentlemen. It grew 10 to 35% every single year, and we didn't even know the Big Short existed. Why? Because we were focused on a market that didn't care about the economy. They cared about their life and how to move on with life. And you're going to build referrals from those trusted advisors that we talked about. Much of our business today comes from attorneys, CPAs, and financial planners, private bankers, and such. What you're also going to do is you're going to build a larger funnel, a lead funnel, before any other agent in your market. And the reason I say that is the people that you meet today may not be ready today. I have clients that called me 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 years later and says, Dan, I'm ready now. You remember me? I go, oh, sure. I remember everybody, right? Yeah, right. No, just joking. Yes, you're going to build a deep funnel and pipeline and much wider than anybody else in your market. Right. So why are they downsizing and moving? The first thing that happens, it typically is something physically goes wrong. It's usually a hip or a knee or a back, okay? When that happens, if their bedroom's on the second floor, obviously their home doesn't fit them anymore, right? They want to find another single level home to live in. Right? Maybe they have a house with, maybe it's a single level house, but to get from the garage to the house, there's some 5 or 6 steps. That could be problematic. Right? So things like that. What you're finding is the proactive older adult will know that based on their observations of the world around them, that having stairs are not a good thing. Having stairs is going to be problematic, right? And the other is mental health challenges, right? And that's going to happen to all of us at some point in time. We won't even know it. How about that? We won't even know when we have mental health problems. No. The challenge is going to come is you're going to get forgetful, and then forgetful sometimes gets into serious situations. You know, how many of you have gone into a home and you see all the knobs taken off of the stove, right? Or maybe there's extra too many deadbolts on the inside of that door, right? Yeah, we've had that many, many times. And it's one of the spouses is healthier than the other, and they're trying to protect that person, right? For memory loss and dementia. The wanderer is the most challenging because they're healthy physically, but they wander and they forget where they are. We had a client that called us. He had paid $600,000 to move into a continuing care retirement community. Unbeknownst to us, he talked to the financial planner, got the money paid. He never moved in for 6 months. And I asked him, how come? What's your story? And he said he's never moved before. He said, Dan, I bought this house in 1952. I don't know how to move. And I said to him, so if we could help you move, meaning like if I go wiggle my nose like Bewitched, wiggle my nose and say from here to there, I get you there with everything you need, would you want to go? And he popped up out of his chair and he goes, when can I go? Yeah, it was a change of a person. Having that solution could change somebody's life in a major way. In this particular case, the guy was physically frail. He had a wheelchair, he's a walker, mentally very strong. His wife, very large woman, a little bit scary to me. She was bigger than I was. And I would not want to be around if she got mad, right? That type of person. Well, she was strong, but she had mental challenges and memory challenges. So much so that they had to deadbolt the house, which made it unsafe for her. The final straw was she was in front of her home and she was lost. And she didn't know where she was going to go. and we helped her move into a retirement community. It changed her life, changed her entire family's life. Working in this segment of the world and the business, guys, you're going to actually really impact people's lives in a hugely positive way. And some of you really care to do that. There are ways that we can do this a little bit more efficiently, and we've got lots of experience that we can help you with. Some are paying for long-term care needs. One of my first questions, and here's a tip for you, if you go into a listing, one of my questions is, do you have long-term care insurance? And the reason for that is you want to start planning their next move and their future. And that's one of their biggest concerns. Do I have enough money? Right? Do I have enough money? I'm not a financial planner. I tell them that, although I do know general rules of thumb that I know what it's going to cost if you move out of your home. And their main concern is, I don't have enough money. But when we show them the value of their home, we show them based on all of the money that you have, plus the sale of the home, here's how long it's going to last. We can actually give them a rough idea, a very rough idea of either this is going to work well, or we may want to plan for stage 2, which is Medicaid housing. Okay. So there's things that we can do to help them through this journey. Again, many of our clients are wealthy, and this is typically not a problem for them. The other is family dynamics. A lot of times they just want to be closer to family, right? Their kids move out of their home, they find a spouse somewhere else, they start having children, and then what happens? Mom and dad move to go see their grandkids, and they end up living near them. That's very common. Some are moving to selling to move in with family. Some are saying, well, mom, dad, why don't you come move in? We have some extra space, or I'll build an ADU in my backyard. Why don't we live together? I'll take care of you, right? That's another reason why they're selling. Oftentimes, though, this is the biggest one, is their home's just too big and too much work to maintain, right? They've got a 3 or 4 or 5 bedroom home, and it's just them or them and their spouse. You know, the pine tree's getting too big. Everything is become a burden to them at that point. They want to simplify life. Some are very proactive, and they're selling and buying something smaller, or they're renting something. So this is the recent baby boomer that had just retired, and now they see the world. They just want to travel, and they want to simplify life, and they're okay with having smaller spaces, yet they're going to be independent. And many are moving into retirement communities. So this is the largest population that we've found, is the older adult that moves into a retirement community. Understanding retirement communities, you can be the solution to their problems. We became the placement company, essentially a relocation placement company for seniors, mainly because we understood what the options were. We knew what the food was like. We knew the people there. Once you create a community of trust within that, game over. I mean, you're going to be the only place. I have the state of Hawaii calling me. The Elderly Affairs Division calls me. The Adult and Protective Services calls me, right? City and county organizations call because nobody in my community has the information that I have. And by the way, it's not hard to get. There's a little thing called Google, actually. Anyways, we'll move on. There's a little bit more detail than just Googling. And then moving into, because of a lower cost of living, you know, for those who live like in Hawaii, they're moving to climates that, or environments that is cheaper. I would imagine, you know, the Bay Area where Carolyn is bloody expensive. And, you know, people moving out of there to have a simpler life, right? In their community, where likely it's because of their family, and the family's now in a less expensive community, right? Things like that. And then some are just wanting to move to warmer climates. I mean, I bet, just guessing, Florida might have a few people coming to them. And if they come early enough and then they age there, then they're going to have to figure out what to do. Okay. So it's not so much you're finding the replacement for them as you're getting to Florida, but more at some point in their life, the home that they moved, the downsize to, won't fit their lifestyle, and they're going to need care, right? Right. That's the market that you're looking at. And lastly, a lot of them are just going to be closer to family and care. We have clients that move to hospitals that have specialists, like brain cancer specialist hospitals. We have people moving all over the country because of a need, right? So again, they're moving because of a need, and it's not relative to the market, right? So when we get good at this, guys, at this part of the cycle of our market, you're going to dominate coming through it. You're going to really dominate coming through it. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so there's generally, in our class, we're going to talk deeply about retirement communities, but generally speaking, there's just really two main types. One is a month-to-month rental, and the other is a CCRC, a continuing care retirement community. The month-to-month rental model is the fastest growing model of retirement communities in America, mainly because baby boomers is the target market, and baby boomers want flexibility. They want to be able to come and go as they please, maybe move from state to state or community to community. We work with engineers and designers, developers of these, and really that's what they're telling us we're going to see more of. The CCRCs, the continuing care retirement communities, that's where the wealthy go, okay? Because there's an upfront entry fee to enter it. Now, the monthly fees between these two models are very similar. Oftentimes, the CCRC is a little bit more expensive because it's a higher grade of service and quality. That model, the CCRC model, is they have an entry fee. And the entry fee typically will range. Now, every state's going to be different. So you're going to want to understand how it works in your state. They're typically constructed by the Department of Health in your market, right? And like, for example, California, I think you have 4 or 5 models. Okay, I can't even keep track of you guys, right? In Hawaii, there's only 2, right? There's, and some of them will give you a life care guarantee and some won't, right? So there's, understanding that is really important because this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the wealthy go. Where does the wealthy go? When they have more money than they can spend, they're going to spend it in their care and the life that they have in the last season of life, right? And that's what's really important. In Palo Alto, there's a place called the V, and I don't know what it is today, but when I did and met with them, we were expanding in California for a bit. We met with about 10 of them in there. At the V, the most expensive unit, I think at the time was at $5.2 million to get the keys to this place. That was like 2,800 square feet as a 3-bedroom, and it was $10,000 a month for service. That was the most expensive. Rule of thumb on these, get this, rule of thumb, generally speaking, is 2 to 1. So that guy who entered likely had to have $10 million or more. And it was funny because he had it in one account. So 10 million is not a lot for some people, right? So that's the target market, ladies and gentlemen. If you can find communities like that, we did. We connected and partnered with a brand new one, 180 units in the building, entry fees from anywhere from $675 to $875. These are studios and 1-bedrooms, and they cost $6,000 to $8,000 a month, right? But we partnered with them when they were digging dirt. They had a problem, and the problem that they had was they had to get money and deposits to continue the construction. Well, their problem was their demographic. The reason they didn't sell is they didn't have solutions on selling. They didn't know what to do with their stuff. They didn't know where to go. They weren't confident that they could make the move. These are all the problems that when you become the solution to them, game over. They're going to call you. Everyone's going to call you, right? The communities are going to call you because other realtors don't have a solution for these folks. And it's going to take them a lot longer if they don't have a solution. If they're planning on doing it themselves or having their kids help them, yeah, that's problematic, right? They need professionals that are trained to do this on a regular basis. In your communities, you're going to want to talk about, learn about the senior move management industry. So write this down, NASMM, the National Association of Senior Move Managers. That will be a solution that you're going to want to partner with or build. We built our own. I don't recommend that. It's a lot of work. So go find one that already exists in your market, and they will help you. Right? They may also send you referrals because they know people who are downsizing and ready to move. Right? So when you start giving them business, guess what? You're going to get business as well. Right? Again, this is just one of the legs of referrals that we're having. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks. Carolyn said there's an 800 people waiting list to get into that place called the V. In our market, ours is a 5-year waiting list. It's not 800. I think it's only 350. So those people who sign up, I wonder how long they're going to wait, right? hopefully they're healthy enough to get in. Because keep in mind, if you're not healthy enough on these CCRCs, you may not be able to get in. And I say to people, if you want this kind of lifestyle, sooner is better than later to make these decisions, because if you're not healthy, that option is going to vanish and vaporize, right? Because many of these CCRCs, they're guaranteeing to take care of you, but you got to be ambulatory. You have to be able to get to your food, right? And because they're promising everybody else to take care of them when those people can't get to their food, right? That's why entry point has to be healthy. Anyways, any other questions I want to before we go any further? Yeah, we have a coaching group coaching class. We'll talk about that at the end. About Senior Relocation Specialist. Yes, we also have a new community coming up. We'll share that at the end as well. Thanks. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Okay, so a couple of things to note. There's basically three major levels of care, right? You've got independent living. People can drive. So I have clients that are working that went into these independent living, right? The reason why they do that is because they wanted to go in when they're healthy, right? And so that's another thing. If you have a husband and wife and one of them's not that healthy, the one that is should make the decision to move both of them in, right? Because what happens if the person that's not healthy now needs care at home and they don't have support? The one that's stronger is going to have a challenge of trying to take care of them, right? So when you have older adults, sooner is better than later if they have the wherewithal to do it, so that when one starts having health challenges, there's already a support system there. They don't have to go find it, right? Assisted living is anytime you need assistance. So there's a thing called ADLs. You want to write that down. ADLs is activities of daily living. When you look at long-term care insurance, they're going to say to you, if you need 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, your long-term care insurance will pay for it. That's an important piece of information to know if you want to be a real estate planner to help people plan their future, right? The 6 are, what is it? Bathing, dressing, grooming, toileting, continence, mobility. Okay, so those, again, we'll take a deep dive into our class, but those are the things that they look for, and a doctor will actually have to sign to say that they need help with one of those 2, and then long-term care insurance will kick in. Keep in mind, long-term care insurance kicks in after like 90 days. So they got to pay for it for the first 90 days, and then they're going to get reimbursed. And then you have skilled nursing facilities. If you want to sound like you know this industry well from the inside out, they call these SNFs, SNF, skilled nursing facilities, right? And these are where they need care. There's an intrusion in their body. They have the wound is severe that they need a nurse, right? They need a nurse. And then the last one, which is not on there, is actually hospice. You can have hospice anywhere. Yeah, hospice are the last days of somebody's time here on the planet. And it's all about comfort, right? And actually, I've spoken to all the hospice hospitals and providers here in Hawaii. That's not a bad target market also, because they know what's going to happen. At some point, their family's going to need some help, right? And then memory care crosses over all levels of care, because you can have memory challenges in independent living. You can have memory challenges in all of these levels of care. Yeah. By the way, memory care is going to be the largest challenge we're going to have in our lifetime, right? Because of our bodies. The doctors can keep our bodies healthy. They have nothing to help us with our mind, and we have to do that. There's a whole conversation that we have around how do we help people self-discover what the future is going to look like. Okay, so their home doesn't work for them any longer and they need to move, right? So what you want to do is you want to be the solution, right? What does that look like? Well, number one, they're not going to consider selling until they know where they're going to go. So you got to find a home, right? The second thing is, how do you help them process this change? It's extremely, extremely emotional, extremely physically and mentally and emotionally challenging. We had a client, our longest client was 89 years old. She lived in her home 89 years. She had a lot of things. Yeah, I think some of that was from the 1800s. Okay. These folks, you have to have a heart of compassion and care in order to help, honestly. If you don't, it's going to show. It really is, because you're going to have to approach them differently, right? Your pace of the conversation, what they can absorb in their head cognitively is a fraction of what you think they should be able to absorb. Okay, understanding this is really important to helping these folks process life. The number 3 is probably the biggest problem, is sorting their personal belongings. We use an acronym called SORT: sell, offer, retain, and toss. And I tell people everything in your home can fit in one of 4 piles. And the lady says, well, you haven't seen my house. I have more than 4 piles. No, true. You can fit in one of those 4 piles. Right? And so we help them through that process. This is where that senior move management company comes in. We know it so well because we built one. We've helped over 1,500 families over the last 12 years transition life, right? And so for those who want to do that and have a large enough business to do that, it definitely has brought us a lot more leads and a lot more listings. Right? And moving and setting up their new home is what that company should do. And then getting the home ready for sale. The property, getting the property ready for sale seems really important to some people and not to others, right? So the people who care and have pride about their home, they don't want to show it the way it looks, or they love their home so much that they want the next person to like it as much as they do, right? So it's more than about money. You know, there was a time that I say, well, you know, for every $1 you put in, I want you to get you $2 back, and typically that's our goal. The challenge, though, is many folks, they don't really care. They don't care. The demographic that we work in, the people that have more money than they could spend, it's all about how they feel about the money, right? It's not about the money. It's how they feel about it, right? And getting it ready makes them really happy, right? Makes them proud to sell a home. And then communicating and advocating with them regularly. That's something that we got really good at. Our clients get 3 emails every single week from us, as well as drop-in calls and visits along the way. High level, high touch, makes them feel comfortable and builds a level of trust with you. Because really, they have only one criteria, and it looks like this. Do I like you? Right? Well, we're all kind of likable, right? Do I trust you? Well, yeah, okay, maybe I do trust you. Here's the biggest thing. Do I believe you can help me? Do I believe you can help me? And this is where most agents aren't going to be able to cut in, because they won't have a confidence in those agents that they can help them. Right? You want to be that person. You can be that person as long as you have solutions to the problems they have. Right? And this is how we get a lot more business and a lot of come list me's, because people know in our community that we can help them. Their friends and have told them that we can help them. Right? Their financial planner has told them that we're the only ones that can help them. Right? Because everybody else just wants to put a sign in the ground, and what is it? Put a sign in the ground, put in MLS and pray that somebody calls, right? We're not doing that. We're a much higher level of service, because that's what this demographic actually needs, right? So what's the goal? Well, it's to secure more listings with the wealthy older adult. Right? This is the adult that has wealth in real estate, more than their home. And the other question that I'm finding that we're not asking in our industry is, when we work with somebody who's selling their home, the question should be, what other properties do you own? Because 30% of them will own investment properties. Did you guys know that 30% of all homes in America, all properties in America, are investment properties? That's wild. And so we started doing that simple question. Well, first thing we do is we pull their tax records in our community. So everything in my market, I know what they own. Then I thought I was so smart. I thought that was it, until I asked the question, what else do you own? I found out they have 15 properties all over the country that we can help them sell and get a referral fee for, and help them create a legacy with their properties, help them do 1031 exchanges, and maybe some of them want to bring the properties back to our market. Right? And so that question alone really opened the door for so many other conversations around other listings. Then you're going to build a network and a database in your local market as well as international market, and in Keller Williams here as well. Really, the goal is to become the real estate planner. Move from a real estate agent, a very good real estate agent, to becoming the real estate planner. What is that? It's a licensed real estate agent who's certified and has the knowledge, training, and experience to compassionately guide a real estate owner in ways that create generational wealth, minimize taxes, and facilitates the goals of the family. Right? These people with wealth need us to help them with this. They need us. They don't have anybody that they can talk to. What they do have is they've got a financial planner, they've got a wills and trust attorney, and a CPA. Who's managing the real estate? Who plans the real estate? Here's the other question. Who's trained to plan? Who's trained to help somebody plan to help manage their real estate? Nobody does. Nobody does. I've asked that question to every financial planner, and I get the funniest thing is, I guess you? Yeah, that's right. I'm your real estate planner. Yeah. Because nobody else is doing that. This has a service mark on that. That's in the process of being trademarked for our community, for those who are members in our community. So again, our intention is to elevate your business, take you from a good agent to a planner, right? What you're going to do is you're going to be the trusted advisor and consultant. It's going to attract leads from all these advisors in your community, because you are somebody that is different from everybody else in your market. Right? You're going to provide solutions to the problems that all the wealthy will have. And then you're going to be able to create customized strategies to help them manage their portfolio. So the target market is not a person that owns one property. The target market is a person that owns multiple properties, and their families own multiple properties. Right? And they have they have a number of kids that have other properties. So how do we become the portfolio manager of real estate? That's our goal. So in our coaching program that we have, it's starting on October 19th. If you want to go sign up, it's $199. Get your phone out. You can click on the QR code. Take care of that now before you forget. Anyways, we're going to cover 4 weeks. Okay, each week is 1 hour. We're going to start with understanding the opportunity with the wealthy older adult. We're going to dive deep into what we touched on briefly today, about how do we serve that market? How do you attract them? Right? How do you find them? And then the second week, we're going to talk about being the Senior Relocation Specialist, like deep dive into how do you become that person? What does it look like? Right? How do you become the placement company in your market and the go-to for somebody who needs help moving? Third is what I'm really excited about also is the 1031 exchanges. I would say right now about 40% of our listings are 1031 exchanges. By the way, that is the best client you can find today. Why? They're motivated. They're on a time frame. And with a DST, which is a Delaware statutory trust, and you'll learn more about that, that tool is your best safety net for a 1031 exchange, and often the best destination for somebody trying to not own real estate anymore, and not pay taxes and remove the burdens and still have money coming in. Right? And then we wrap up with gaining knowledge in wills, trusts, and probate. How do we attract those people? How do you attract probate business, trust business, right? What do you need to understand about wills? We're going to cover all those in 4 weeks. So again, if you're interested, please sign up. Your QR code's right there. I'll give you 2 seconds, and okay, we can move on. Oh, sorry, question. How is the training different from SRES? Okay, good question. Lisa asked, how is the training different from SRE, Senior Real Estate Specialist? It is from the practical listing agent perspective. That's all I can say. I've taken the class. I am actually here. It's actually right here. I was awarded one of 2 awards. It's called you can't even see it. It's so darn small. The what is it called? Outstanding Service Award from NER's Senior Real Estate Specialist 2014. And they give you a little, I don't know what they do. Oh yeah, they give you a little pin like this. I don't know, you can't even see it. Yeah. Anyways, that's stuff to see. They give 2 of those a year. They gave one of those to us because of our service. I could train that class. I'd rather train this. See, the SRES teaches you about the market, doesn't teach you how to build a business, right? My goal is to help you teach you how to get listings, how to make money, how to build a business, right? And really, that's the difference between the two. When selling primary community home, does tax equity defer when paying for retirement? No. So regarding taxes, I'm not a CPA, but generally speaking, here's where you want to look at it. You have a primary residence or you have an investment property. A primary residence, you get a capital gains tax exemption, right? Per person, $250,000 on title living in the property. Investment properties do not get that tax exemption, right? So then you want to do a 1031 exchange with that investment property. So simply just two routes to look at when coaching somebody through what to do with their properties and taxes associated with that. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I think we have one more slide. We have one slide? I think we do. Okay, so here's the Keller Williams Real Estate Planner. We just launched this, guys, and you were one of the first to ever even know about this community. Now, this is going to be one of the most exclusive communities in Keller Williams. It is not open to every agent in the market. It's really for those who are the best in their market. And the reason is we don't take being a real estate planner lightly, right? And so number one, obviously the benefit is you're going to get tons of referrals from our market because everyone's going to be trained in the same level. The training is really systems, models, and tools to get listings, right? That's what makes us different from SERES, because we're going to teach you how to get a list. We're going to give you tools. I'm going to share my letters that we have that we send out every month, and the phone rings every month, and we're getting listings every month. It's proven, right? And so we have things that we're going to share. We're going to put it in a portal. You have access to that portal 24/7. You're going to get certifications. Each certification is 3 months long, right? They're 1 hour each. There are knowledge checks on each of these. And at the end of it, there'll be a real estate planner test. Once you pass the real estate planner test, you will then be a KW certified real estate planner. For now, the members will be able to use the term, I'm a member of KW Real Estate Planner, but you cannot say you're a real estate planner until you're certified. All of those courses have to be completed to become a certified real estate planner. There will also be a private Facebook group with a Q&A and active knowledge building as well and experience sharing. And then we're going to have monthly masterminds and monthly training as well. I think we lost the training on that. Monthly masterminds, like monthly training, which is the certifications. Okay, so you're going to get certification training every month, and you'll get masterminds every month, featuring top agents that are really have a different approach to it, maybe that could lead you to your next listing. Right? You know, our goal is to make sure that we provide value so that the next conversation you have, your iron is sharpened more than it ever has been, and you're building your business on the back of being called a real estate planner. Now, requirements, the lowest level requirements is 150 GCI and 2 years of real estate license in good standing. It goes into the portal, and then based on how many agents are in your market center, many of our market centers have 300 agents or 400 agents. That means for every 300 agents, there'll be only 3 spots available. One of those spots will be a market center specialist, which will be the person that we're going to lean into for training, right, in the market center. We're also looking for regional ambassadors, iconic people in your market that have proven success in these areas, any one of these 4 areas that are currently training today, right, that are within KW culture. We are looking for regional ambassadors as well. You are one of the first groups to ever even see this information and know of it, mainly because you came to our class today. But we will be launching at Mega Camp, and we'll have a booth at Mega Camp. So please join us, come visit us. For those who are interested in 1031 exchange class, we're having an advanced 1031 exchange class the day before Mega Camp on the 22nd, Carolyn, right before Gary's meeting, 8:30 to 10:30. We're going to do an advanced 1031 exchange and DST class. And so that's going to be an invitation only as well. That won't be a public thing. Do you have to be KW to participate in the community? Yes, you do. The group coaching is open to non-KW agents, but the Your communities are all exclusive to KW agents. Do you think seminars for seniors need to be in person as opposed to online seminars? Both will work. One will be better, which will be in person. We found our success ratio, conversion ratio goes up on in person. Our 1031 exchange seminars that we've been doing, we do them every month. Our target's 20% conversion ratio from the number of groups that show up to the number of appointments you get. And almost all those appointments, you're going to get them signed because they've already they interviewed you already. Once you get the appointment, that means they're going to use you, right? And so that's a model that we're going to coach and teach on as well for the 1031 exchange. What is the time frame for the 12 months for the GCI? Thank you, Brenda. William asks, on average, how many listings does a typical planner get from using your system? That's a really good question. I have no idea. There is no typical because there are none. I'm it. Honestly, I'm the only real estate planner because we haven't taught this to anybody, right? And so once you learn this model, and again, this is not for a newer agent. This is for a seasoned agent. Okay, this model is not about teaching you how to sell real estate. You have to be a rock star at that in your market, right? Because we're teaching strategies and conversations and tax benefits to the way that they manage their real estate. Right? That's what we're doing. Can you use 2021 GCI the last 12 months? Yes, Karen, thank you. I love these questions. This is awesome. Let's see. It says, I'm a new agent. Should I wait till my 2-year mark to take the class? No, I would take the group coaching class to get a head start. So the group coaching class is open to all of you. Okay, so if you haven't taken it, I would strongly take it because that'll give you the foundational information that'll take you to becoming a real estate planner. Will you be sending a link for sign up to our emails? Yes, we will. We'll be sending you all the information on our community after this event. If you switch market centers at some point, what happens? Susan asks, that's a really good question. KWRI is going to pull all of your GCI. So I don't do any of that, right? They're going to tell me, they're going to run it through a filtering system based on number of years of good standing real estate license and GCI. They will tell me what that looks like. I have 2 listings that help sellers complete 1031 exchange just based on one piece of advice from Dan. Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn, who was mentioning this, offered me a while back. This is an incredible opportunity. I'm signed up. Thank you, Dan. Our co-leader of our luxury community. Thank you, Carolyn. Yes, and we're going to cross, a lot of our community, those who are in luxury will want to be in KW Real Estate Planner. It's the same demographic, the wealthy older adult. Right? Kapil, my assistant, already put the application form in the chat. Click open the chat, you'll see it there. April Edwards asked, past 12 months or calendar 12 year. I believe it's rolling 12 is what KW is going to use because they're just going to put your name in and they're going to look back 12 months. Right? Eddie asks, thank you, Dan. I've been following you for several years. I'm very excited about this opportunity to learn from you and how. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Do you have to pay $199 a month if you are only in group coaching? No, the group coaching is a one-time $199. One-time $99 for group coaching. The community, if you're approved, then it's $199 a month. Susan asked, meaning if I'm in one agent in a current market center and I move to another market center and I already have 2 or 3 planned. That's a really good question. Kapil, we got to write these down because these are great questions. If I'm one agent in the market center and if you move to another market center that already has their maximum capacity, that's a good question. Then you probably would not be able to get in. You want to get in when you're a member of you want to get into the community when you can get into the community, right? Unfortunately, KWR is not going to allow us to have exceptions. So once people are in, as long as they're paying, they hold the spot there. Once somebody vacates their pay, when it stops paying, then we bring in the person on the wait list, and that's kind of the process that we're going to follow, I believe. Judy asks, what time is the class and how many hours? Good question. It's always going to be, was it Wednesdays at 9 o'clock my time? I have no idea what it is your time. But So California, it would be, what's that, 3 hours, so 12 Pacific. Is it 5? No. Anyways, actually, if you click on the class, it'll have the dates and times of each region. What exactly should an agent expect once they are approved and have joined? What they should expect is being able to get certified in senior relocation services, wills, trust, and probate. 1031, we've actually separated 1031 exchanges and DSTs. Those are you're going to get 3 months of Delaware statutory trust. I mean, that is the most advanced tool that I've ever seen in real estate. And it's got us a lot of listings. And then the real estate planner will be a test at the end. All of these courses will be available. You must attend to pass, right? At least one of the 3, and the other 2, you have to have passed the knowledge checks as well. So what are you getting? You're getting this exclusive entry into a network of the highest producers in the country that are now trained to serve as a planner for other people in their market. Okay, what else? Did we answer everyone's question? How do I know if there is an opening in my market? Once you apply, KW will tell us if the spots are taken, right? If it's open, then likely you will be approved, right? If it's taken, you'll get an email that says you're going to be on the waiting list, and if you'd like to. Right. Good question, Judy. What other questions do we have? Anything else? All right. Well, if there's nothing, is there anyone? Oh, here's the last slide. I think there's one more slide. If you want to reach me, this is how you reach me. Not when I'm doing this though, because I don't answer my phone when I do this. And I do this every day. So if you're trying to reach me between 5 and 7:30 in the morning, good luck, because you're not going to find me. Unless there's exceptions. I've got to get on Gary's call at 5 in the morning anyway. So anybody have any questions? Let's see. Oh, Judy asked, have you sent the email for that? Oh, April asked. So April, go up in the chat. It's in the chat, but we also will email you the application link. And Judy asks, my team meeting is in the same day. Any other possibilities? Unfortunately, it's already built into the calendar. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we can't change that time frame. And then there's the application Kapil just put in again, my trustee assistant. Again, if you want to go to group coaching, you can click on this right here and go ahead and apply. And registrations are open. And we look forward to seeing everybody at Mega Camp. So if you're going to Mega Camp, stop by our booth. We can chat some more. And yes, the group coaching is recorded, Julie. Thanks, Julie. All right. All right. If there's no other questions, thank you all so much. We appreciate your time. We look forward to serving you. We look forward to building your business in your market and dominating in this shift. Okay. Aloha, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.